it has been pretty much exactly 262 days since the 11th of August of 2018, which is the day that I accidentally started to upload daily to YouTube. And I say accidentally because it was not necessarily planned. I just happened to make a video, and then I made a video the next day, and the next day, and then it became sort of a thing, which lasted for about 100 days. And now it's about 150 or 160 days since that. And I have to say that I'm not necessarily, proud of myself for stopping. At the same time, I understand why I had to stop and why that definitely was necessary. But in the last 2 months or so, I barely created anything. And that has a lot to do with personal life, feeling burnt out, not knowing what to be doing next, and what to focus on. And so I actually changed a lot of the habits that I was in. And I also have to say that I'm not necessarily proud of the fact that I have kept making promises or setting expectations publicly on this YouTube channel, but I guess that's the thing that you let yourself go into if you start making public statements or releasing information to the public about projects you're working on and stuff like that. And I'm not necessarily proud that I haven't done those things or that I haven't necessarily given the best updates later on. I feel myself getting out of that rut of the last 2 months, slowly but surely. And I also feel very strongly about continuing the creative process and continuing to create these videos, my podcast, and other things. I just feel that that has to happen on its own time when it feels right, and not necessarily be forced the way that I might have done it in the past. And that has been a very strong development for me, that I noticed more and more that I can do things light and with ease if I let them come naturally, and understand sometimes what is below, as well as understanding what is holding me from doing something specific. Being public, for example, one of the quotes that I recently heard that keeps coming back to me is, "We all want to be seen, but we don't want to be looked at." And I haven't figured out who said that, who the quote is from, but I think that depicts very, very nicely the state that a lot of us are in, and maybe even all of us in some way or another. And I certainly have those moments where I feel vulnerable and I'm not so sure if I should make certain statements or my public opinions or something like that. So to conclude this little update of mine here, I am still here. I still want to be doing these videos and more, but it's a process, and it's something that I think even those moments have to be shown sometimes, because that is, I think, one of the main reasons why I haven't done a lot of videos in the last 2 months, is because it's not a glorious feeling when you are in the middle of this feeling world, in the middle of this exploration of what to be doing, when and how, and to kind of like figure all of that out and try to create at the same time. All the while you don't really have much to show for something, and it's not action, it's not the pretty hotels that we see so often when we look on the Instagram and stuff like that. And that keeps bogging me down in some way, that it's not interesting enough, it's not cool enough or something like that. And at the same time, I have it in my head that I feel that documentation is so much more interesting than just showing off. And even today I had this moment, for quite a while I followed Jon Olsen, who was daily vlogging for a while, and now he's doing weekly updates or weekly videos. And I didn't watch his videos for a couple of months now, because it became straining to see someone who has such an amazing life all the time. But coincidentally today I actually watched the latest video that they put out a couple days ago. And at the end of the video he actually talks about the moment at this point where he says that previously he was just jumping out of bed and starting work immediately, and it was really easy for him. But the last few weeks, it sounds like he had struggles, and he didn't necessarily jump and go at work or go to the computer immediately, and it takes him 2 or 3 hours. And it's probably because he's doing so much stuff. That's what his idea is. It's kind of like a little bit of a burnout or something. And even though I'm not at the scale that he's at, and I'm not building like a house or two and a boat and a car at the same time, and yet we all have our own individual struggles. And I found it incredibly powerful that he also mentioned that, because I think that a lot of us have to hear that every now and then, that people who are successful struggle just the same. And it's so fucking easy today to get caught up in the idea that some people just have it perfect and their amazing lives are without faults, and they just aren't that way. And I think that's something that I want to take as an inspiration to continue this journey, to continue sharing about it, and also to continue to be more vulnerable and open. Because, like I said in the quote, it's like we want to be seen but not looked at. Well, we gotta have to show something if we want to be seen and connect and build relationships. And to be able to do that, we have to be vulnerable and actually show something, because that builds an honest connection and not just some platonic something. Yeah, that's this little update from me today, and I'm looking forward to creating more of these updates, more of my videos again, more of the podcast and stuff like that. But I'm not promising any schedule on that because I just can't at the moment. Have an amazing day and see you later. Ciao.